Hey friends, how's it going? And welcome back to my channel. So I'm doing a really short intro today. I'm going to be reviewing the new OPI Spring 2023 collection for you guys. This collection was sent to me compliments of OPI, so thank you OPI. It is now available at Beyond Polish. So you guys, if you see any of these beauties that are must-haves, make sure you go pick them up at Beyond Polish. I do have a 10% off affiliate code with Beyond Polish. That code is BIV10. You guys know I greatly appreciate you guys for using it. So without further ado, let's get to these polishes. All right, you guys, so let's get right into these beauties. First up, we have Pink in Bio. This is a creamy off-white with a pink undertone, and I love this polish. It's not super unique to my collection, but it is beautiful. It is a 2 to 3 coater, but they're a super easy 2 to 3 coats. And this is just a perfect polish to transition from winter to spring. And then I do want to show you here what the polish looks like in shade and in sunlight. I will let you guys know that any of the comparison polishes that are available at Beyond Polish, I did put an asterisk next to those. So if you see an asterisk next to a polish, that means that polish is available at Beyond Polish. And here we go into comparisons. Here we have OPI Hugh is the artist, OPI Movie Buff, and OPI Don't Bossa Nova Me Around. So you can see how those compare. I would say that Movie Buff is very, very close. So just keep that in mind. I feel like Pink and Bio has a tiny touch more peach in it than Movie Buff, but really I would say they are pretty much dupes. Next up here we have Zoya Sutton, Zoya Chelsea, and Essie Ballet Sneakers. Next up here we have Zoya Evelyn, OPI Let's Be Friends, and Essie Mixed Taupe. And last but not least here we have Essie Stirring Secrets, Essie Lighten the Mood, and Essie Urban Jungle. So you can see how those compare. I actually thought Pink and Bio and Urban Jungle would be dupes for each other, but they are not. Okay, next up we have Switch to Portrait Mode, and I do not like this polish. This is a 2 to 3 coater, but even after 3 coats you can still kind of see the nail line. This is a light pink shimmer with a peachy tone, and I do not like this finish at all. And I don't like how it's kind of a peachy tone. There's just something about this one that I am not a fan of. I'm sure it will look fabulous on some of you, but yeah, it does not go with my skin tone. I do almost like it in the shade here in this swatch photo, but it's just, I don't love it. I still don't love it. All right, next up here we have I Meta My Soulmate, and I do like this polish more than the last one. So this is a little bit more cool tone, so it's fun. It's described as a rose quartz pink with a silver shimmer. It still has that same, I don't know if it's streaky. It's not really streaky. It's just kind of a sheer polish, and I'm not a huge fan of this. It's just not something that I'm going to be putting on my nails very frequently. I did 2 coats here. You can still kind of see a little bit of the nail line in real life. Maybe not in the swatch video here, but you can see a little bit of nail line in real life. And then next up, I will have comparisons, by the way, with all of these kind of silvery shimmers. So hold up on that. But this is Data Peach. It's kind of the same formula as the other 2. I do like this one a little bit more. This is described as a light peach with a pink shimmer, and this one's not too bad. I feel like it's not so sheer. It actually has a little bit of color to it. It's a little bit of coral color, so it's not too bad, but still not a fave. And then here you can see how that looks in different lighting. And then getting right into comparisons of all of these, here we have Essie Polarizing, Switch to Portrait, I Meta My Soulmate, and Essie Pink Diamond. Next up we have Essie Pretty in Ink and Essie Gilded Goddess. And then here we have OPI Snow Falling for You, Switch to Portrait Mode, Data Peach, and OPI Causey Melted in the Sun, which I love that polish. It's so pretty. And then here we have Essie Coral Coast and Essie Reach New Heights, and then Essie Homegrown and Essie Gel Couture Sunrush Metal. So you can see how all of those compare. I'm just not a fan of them. Let me know if you guys like these polishes or if you're kind of like me and you're not a huge fan of them. Okay, next up is Blinded by the Ring Light. This is a gorgeous pastel yellow, and this is another 2 to 3 coater. It's, again, an easy 2 to 3 coater. It's a pastel, so we kind of get used to pastels being a 2 to 3 coater, and I'm not mad at it. I still like this polish. And then here you can see how it looks in the sunlight and in my studio lighting. And then comparisons. Here we have Essie Gel Couture Avant Garment, Essie Expressi Busy Beeline, and Essie Summer Solstice. and then Essie Jocatura Atelier at the Bay, Essie Sing Songbird Along, and OPI Behind the Scenes, so you can see how those compare. Next up is Silicon Valley Girl. This is described as a vibrant tangerine orange. This is, I would say this is a 2 to 3 coater. At 2 coats, I still had some patchiness. It's kind of hard to see the patchiness in the live swatch, but there really was some. So I would say this probably is a 3 coater. It is showing up a little bit brighter in the live swatch than it actually is. I would say the swatch photo under the studio lights is pretty accurate. It may be just a touch lighter even than that. So just keep that in mind. Oranges just do not show up well on video and on photos, so keep that in mind. And then as far as comparisons, here we have Essie and If Anything Goes, OPI PCH Love Song, and Orly Bird of Paradise. And I feel like the comparisons is where you can actually see the true tone of orange. Anything Goes is actually pretty similar. So if you guys have Anything Goes, that gives you an idea of what this polish looks like. And then here we have Essie Movin' and Groovin', Essie Check In to Check Out, and Essie Tangerine Tease, and no dupes there. Next up, we have Clear Your Cache. This is a beautiful pastel lime green that's opaque in 3 coats. This is another one that's an easy 3 coats, and it's fun to apply, and I think this is a fun color, despite the fact that it's a green. You guys know I'm starting to love my greens, so I actually really like this polish. I especially like it when I show it here in the swatch photo in the shade, and then you can see it looks a little bit brighter in my studio lighting. And then here we have comparisons. Here we have OPI Paradise Cove, Morgan Taylor Into the Limelight, and Essie Sensational from their new spring collection, which is the most amazing collection ever. And then Essie Expressi We Don't Mesh, Essie Piece of Work, and Essie Expressi Take Controller. And last but not least, here we have China Glaze Edgy Veggie from their Eco Glaze collection. I do have a full review of that entire collection if you guys are interested. And then OPI, the past is always greener, so you can see how those compare. Okay, next up is one of my faves from this collection. This is NF Tease Me. This is a fun light blue with a slight turquoise undertone. This is a 2-coater, so easy to apply, and it's absolutely stunning and perfect for spring. Here you can see how it looks in different lighting, and moving right along to comparisons. Here we have OPI Sailing and Nailing, OPI Sage Simulation, which I forgot how much I love that polish. It's such a gorgeous polish. And then OPI Nature Strong Cactus What You Preach. Next up, here we have Essie Blooming Friendships, Essie Ride the Sound Wave from their new spring collection, and OPI Malibu Shore, so you can see how those compare. And here, last but not least, we have Essie in the Cabana, Essie Blue La La, and Morgan Taylor's Total Betty, so you can see how those compare. Okay, moving right along into some shimmers. This is Spring Break the Internet. This is described as a bright strawberry pink with a reflective glitter shimmer, and this is another one that's pretty sheer. So I did 2 coats here, and it's okay, but you can still see the nail line. I'm not the biggest fan of being able to see my nail line, so if you guys aren't a fan of that, keep that in mind. And then here you can see how it looks in different lighting. And then moving right along to comparisons. Here we have OPI Strawberry Waves Forever and OPI Pink Big. Pink Big is very similar to Spring Break, except Pink Big is much more opaque. And then you can see how it compares there to Olive Ave Lisa, which is much more opaque as well. Next up, here we have Left Your Text on Red. This is described as a bright ruby red with shimmer. This is the same formula as the pink. So it is somewhat sheer, so it's not quite as opaque as a lot of reds with shimmer that OPI does. You can kind of still see your nail line, but not quite as much as the pink. But keep in mind, this is sheer. It builds up okay if you do 3 coats, but I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of these sheerish shimmers. Here you can see how it looks in different lighting, and here you can see comparisons. Here we have OPI Heart and Console, which is so beautiful, and OPI Rhinestone Ready, which is just as beautiful. And putting these 2 polishes on that are so nice and opaque, it made it so I'm even less of a fan of Left Your Text on Red. Okay, next up, Incognito Mode. This is another fave from the collection. This is described as a light grape purple with a slight gray undertone, and this polish is gorgeous. It's opaque in 2 coats. It has a great formula, and I highly recommend picking this beauty up. I love how it looks here in the studio lighting and in outdoor shade, and it's just an absolute beauty. Here we have comparisons. This is OPI 1 Hecla of a color, which is pretty similar, but maybe a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit different. And then OPI Clay Dreaming and OPI Purple Palazzo Pants, so you can see how those compare. Next up we have Essie Expressi Get a Mauve On, Essie Warm and Toasty Turtleneck, and Essie Merino Cool, so you can see how those compare. And then here I threw in Zoya Barrett, so you can see how that one compares there on the pinky. And then I sold my crypto over Incognito mode, so you can see how that looks over that polish. And I love this combination more than I sold my crypto on its own. So I sold my crypto is a vibrant amethyst with a dazzling silver shimmer, and it has that same formula as the other shimmers in this collection. It's pretty sheer. It does build up okay in 3 coats, but you can still see the nail line. And then here you can see how this polish looks in different lighting and comparisons. Here we have OPI Don't Wait Create and Essie Flirt with Freedom from their new Valentine's Day collection, which I do have a full review of that collection on my channel if you guys are interested, so you can see how all of those compare. All right, guys, so what did you think of this collection? Let me know in the comments down below, and then stay tuned. I have new polishes from the OPI Nature Strong collection. I have the new Zoya collection. I have some Lights Lacquer polishes. I have new Essie Expressi polishes. So lots more polishes coming your way. So hope you guys all have an absolutely wonderful day. Love you all. Bye.